Everyone thinks they'd see manipulation coming. They imagine a villain, a smirking mastermind, twisting words in a smoky room. But real manipulation doesn't look like that. It looks like a compliment that makes you feel small. It sounds like an apology that somehow makes you feel guilty. It feels like you're making a free choice, that someone else quietly rehearsed for you. The truth is, we're all manipulators. Some use it to survive, some use it to control, and some don't even realize they're doing it. Let's break down the most common types of manipulation, how they work, why they exist, and how to spot them before they rewrite your reality. Emotional manipulation, the invisible strings. This is the most common, most powerful, and hardest to see because it doesn't attack your logic, it attacks your heart. Emotional manipulators don't say, do this. They make you want to do it. They'll use guilt, pity, or fear like tools. They'll cry just enough to make you stay, or sigh just enough to make you apologize. The goal? To make your emotions their remote control. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's trauma disguised as strategy. Maybe they learned early on that love disappears unless you pull people's heartstrings. But here's the paradox. If someone controls you through emotion, they don't need to shout. They just need to feel louder than you. Gaslighting, the reality reboot. Gaslighting is psychological hacking. It's not just lying, it's rewriting your memory. A gaslighter's favorite phrase? I never said that, even when they did. The goal is to make you doubt your own perception. Once you stop trusting what you remember, they can install their version of truth, like updating your brain's operating system. The most dangerous part? You don't realize it's happening until your inner voice starts asking for permission to exist. But here's the key. If someone truly loved your mind, they wouldn't try to rearrange it. Guilt tripping, the emotional tax collector. Guilt tripping is emotional manipulation's accountant. Every act of kindness becomes a debt. After all I've done for you, you can't even do this one thing? They weaponize your empathy. You start doing things out of obligation, not love. The scary thing? Sometimes guilt trippers believe they're the victim. They don't think they're manipulating. They think they're collecting what's owed. But relationships aren't ledgers. Love isn't currency. And anyone who treats your empathy like a wallet doesn't deserve your investment. Gaslight's cousin, the crazy making tactic. This one's subtler. It's when someone creates chaos, then blames you for feeling confused. They'll cancel plans, twist words, leave details out, and when you react, they'll say, see, you're too emotional. They manufacture instability so you look like the unstable one. And every time you try to clarify, they move the finish line. It's like playing chess with someone who keeps changing the rules mid-game. The victim card, sympathy as a weapon. We all know the type, the person who's always hurt, always misunderstood, always the underdog in every story. Victim manipulators thrive on pity. They create scenarios where others feel obligated to save them, then quietly control the savior. They might exaggerate pain, minimize their role in problems, or constantly say, "No one ever helps me," while secretly rejecting every solution. They don't want help, they want leverage. Because when you feel sorry for someone, it's harder to hold them accountable. The charm offensive, smiling with intent. Charm is manipulation's most glamorous mask. It's the art of distraction through affection. A charming manipulator doesn't push you, they pull you. They flatter, mirror your energy, make you feel seen in high definition. But it's performance, not connection. The moment you stop giving them what they want, their warmth evaporates. Charm works because it feels like trust. It's social sugar, addictive, flattering, and leaves you craving more. Fear-based manipulation. The threat disguised as care. This one's classic in toxic workplaces, relationships, even parenting. If you leave, you'll never find someone like me. If you fail this, you'll disappoint everyone. If you tell the truth, it'll destroy everything. It's manipulation dressed as concern. They create fear, then present themselves as your only safety net. Fear-based control thrives on limitation. It shrinks your world until the manipulator becomes the only familiar landmark. But the thing about fear is, look, once you walk through it, their power collapses. The silent treatment, the emotional black hole. Silence can be louder than words. The silent manipulator doesn't argue. They vanish. They withhold attention, affection, or conversation until you feel desperate to fix things. It's not conflict resolution, it's emotional starvation. The silence says, you only exist when I acknowledge you, and the longer it lasts, the smaller you feel. But remember, love that disappears as punishment was never love. It was control, pretending to care. Triangulation, the puppet triangle. Imagine two people arguing, and a third person gets pulled in, not to help, but to tilt the balance. That's triangulation, manipulating relationships by adding a third party. It's gossip, alliances, comparison, jealousy. The classic, they said you're the problem move. Triangulators thrive on chaos because chaos makes them the center of it. It's a game of social geometry, and you're just a shape in their equation. The only way to win? Step out of the triangle. Let the geometry collapse without you. Intellectual manipulation, weaponized logic. Not all manipulation is emotional. Some is rationalized to death. These are the debaters, the over-explainers, the "I'm just being logical" types who use intellect to dominate. They'll overwhelm you with arguments until you surrender out of exhaustion, not agreement. They don't seek truth, they seek victory. And when logic becomes a weapon, it's no longer intelligence. It's ego wearing a lab coat, self-manipulation, the quietest betrayal. Now here's the one no one talks about, how we manipulate ourselves. We gaslight our own memories. We guilt trip our own ambitions. We charm ourselves into staying in bad situations because it's not that bad. We convince ourselves that we don't deserve better, that we're too sensitive, that it's all our fault. Sometimes manipulation isn't something done to us, it's something learned within us. From childhood patterns, cultural guilt, survival instincts, and the hardest part of healing is realizing you've been both the victim and the manipulator all along. Media and marketing manipulation, the corporate puppet show. Then there's the industrial version, manipulation with a logo. Advertising plays directly on our emotional software. Scarcity, limited time offer. Belonging, everyone's buying it. Fear, you might be missing out. And identity, this product makes you you. It's all one psychological trick. Make you feel a little less complete, then sell you the missing piece. And we fall for it because our brains evolved to seek validation, not truth. Manipulation doesn't need to convince you. It just needs to feel right long enough for you to click. The martyr manipulator. I'll just suffer silently. This one uses pain as currency. They do everything for everyone, but they make sure you notice it. They'll sigh dramatically, downplay their needs, and say things like, "No, it's fine. I'll handle it even though I'm exhausted." The unspoken message? You owe me gratitude for the pain I chose. It's emotional accounting again, suffering as social investment. And you'll feel guilty just for existing comfortably near them. The mirror manipulator, becoming you to control you. Some manipulators don't dominate you, they become you. They mirror your body language, taste, humor, interest, until you feel you've met your soulmate. But it's strategic empathy. They're not connecting, they're collecting data. The goal is to build rapid intimacy so they can steer your emotions more easily. And when they finally change, you'll chase the version they pretended to be. The hero complex, saving to control. This manipulator wears a cape. They fix everyone's problems except their own. They help, but only to remain needed. They give advice no one asked for, intervene where they shouldn't, and crumble when people become independent. Their secret fear? If everyone's okay, who are they? Manipulation can hide behind good intentions, when helping becomes a way to control outcomes and keep power. Why manipulation works? Because it doesn't attack your strength, it hijacks your empathy. Manipulation thrives where emotion and uncertainty meet. Humans want connection, approval, safety. Manipulators offer those, temporarily, in exchange for control. And the scariest part? We mistake manipulation for love because both make us feel wanted, and at least at first. Outro. The truth is, manipulation isn't always evil. Sometimes it's the language of the wounded, people controlling what they couldn't understand as kids. But when manipulation becomes your default way of getting love, power, or peace, it stops being survival and starts being sabotage. So maybe the goal isn't to never manipulate. Maybe it's to notice when you do and choose honesty instead. Because honesty might not always get you what you want, but manipulation never gets you what you need. And in the quiet moments when no one's watching, the most freeing sentence you'll ever whisper to yourself is, "I don't have to control anyone to be safe."